Many countries are named after tribes and groups of people, such as France being named after the Franks, and Finland possibly being named after the Finns tribe. So when it comes to perhaps the most famous group of people from ancient history, the Romans, you'd think the country they originated from would be called something like Romaland or Romania. But of course it isn't called anything like that, it's called Italy of all things. Yet however, there is a country to the east of Italy that is called Romania. How did we get to a point where the country that is home to the Romans isn't called Romania, but the country of Romania is? So I guess the first thing we should look into is how a country in the Balkans ended up with a name linking it to the group of people who came from the Mediterranean. Well, the name Romania derives from the Latin Romanus, meaning citizens of Rome. However, before being known as Romania, the land area that covers modern day Romania and Moldova, as well as parts of other modern day nations, was called Dacia, named after the tribe who lived there, the Dacians. The Dacian people were considered the fairest and most courageous of men by Herodotus, and in the 1st century BCE, the Dacian king Bulobister made the Dacian kingdom more powerful than ever. Yet of course, this was all before the Roman Empire got their hands on the land. By the 1st century CE, gold supplies were disappearing across the Roman Empire, so much so that the empire had to look outside of its borders for more. The Romans knew of Dacia before this. They knew it was a thriving society of its own, most likely with plans of conquest themselves. But when the Romans heard the Dacians were mining gold in the mountains of their land, something had to change. It was in 101 CE that Roman Emperor Trajan invaded Dacia, with the conquest being complete in 106 CE, and the area becoming known as Roman Dacia, taking on many Roman customs such as Latin, eventually becoming the Romanian language we know today, hence why we have a Romance language in a sea of Slavic speaking nations. And of course it made the name of the land shift from Dacia to Romania, as of course the Dacians were now citizens of Rome, with the name becoming official in 1866 with the Constitution of Romania. So now we know the name Romania means citizens of Rome, then why isn't Italy named this too? After all, they really are citizens of Rome too, right? Well, while the name Italy does actually come from the name of the citizens of the land, it doesn't come from the Roman citizens. The Vitali were the name of a tribe that settled in the Calabria region, the southern tip of the boot of Italy. It was originally however spelled Vitalia, thought to come from the Latin Vitulus, meaning a one-year-old calf, and the name Vitalia meaning the land of cattle, as the area was rich with cattle, with the name being used by the Romans themselves to refer to the south of the country, and then to the country as a whole, eventually changing to the name we know today, Italy. I guess Italy isn't called Romania because even the Romans didn't call it Romania and called it Italy. These two nations of Romania and Italy might seem incredibly different, one a Mediterranean paradise and the other a Balkan's fairy tale kingdom, yet there's ties between the nations, especially with their names, both named thanks to the Romans of course, and both named after their citizens, except in Romania's case, those citizens are people who invaded their land for gold, and in Italy's case, it's just the people from the south of their land. History really is written by the victors sometimes, especially as it seems with Romania's name, as while now the Roman Empire is left solely to the history books and ruins, Romania's name shows us to this very day the impact that the Roman Empire